Welcome to another great episode of Cooking with Rico on the Cooking with Rico show. Welcome, you're back. Thank you guys so much for actually being back with me. I am excited to cook with you guys again. I got 2 extra knives. We are ready to go, so sit back, get your weapons ready. Let's get it on. Let's go. Da 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 da. Let's get right into it, everybody. Hey, so we are going to make something really cool. It's another pasta dish that I like, and it's actually sun-dried tomato burrata pasta. Burrata is a cheese, so it's gonna be nice and cheesy, but it's gonna be really good for you guys to eat. Now, of course, for all you vegetarians that's out there, this is really good for you as well. But for you non-vegetarians, we're gonna add in some nice crusted chicken parmesan. We're gonna fry it up. We're gonna cut it into nice little strips. We're gonna put that right on top of the finishing touches. So let's get ready. Let's get it on with the ingredients. We have 1 tablespoon of dried basil. We also have 1 teaspoon of oregano. We have a teaspoon of dill. Yeah, dry dill. Then we have 2 tablespoons of red vinegar. Yeah, red wine vinegar for cooking. Yeah, then we have 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Yes, that is going to be awesome. We're gonna put some basil in this as well too, and of course we got some sun-dried. Now I have 2 packages of 4.4 ounces, so a total of 8 will be good, you know, as far as with sun-dried tomatoes. So you can actually get them in the package, or you can get them in a jar. If you happen to get them in a jar, make sure you actually take all of the oils out of it. You wanna make sure that it's dry so it won't have to run all over the place. All right, I have artichokes. Now, you can use spaghetti if you want to. You can use that as well. But I would say I'm using shortcut pasta, which is artichokes. So you can use penne pasta as well. I have 8 ounces of burrata cheese. Make sure that it's room temperature. Room temperature is very important for this, so make sure you sit this out for at least an hour. Then we have some marinated artichokes. You're gonna use 1 cup of that. Baby spinach. For the babies, right? We got 3 cups of baby spinach. We're gonna be using that as well. Then I got 4 cloves of garlic that we're gonna mince up. Got tusabe, and then we have some bell peppers. We're gonna slice that up as well. And last but not least, shallots, right? We have 2 shallots that we're going to actually be dicing up. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with green bell peppers. Now you can also use other type of bell peppers. You can use yellow, you can use orange, you use red, you can use whatever you want to, as long as it's a bell pepper, right? So let's get it on. So now, of course, we're gonna thinly slice this, but you know what I'm gonna do? Let's do some dicing, right? I like dicing it up. So we're gonna actually slice this baby up, take all of the insides out, all of it, get it out of there, right? And then we're gonna slice this up. Get all the cavity creeps out of there. Yes, make sure you get all of that. I crack myself up sometimes, as you can see. Yes. All right, get all of that out of there. Yes, all of that. Put that over to the side, you know. If you're in the kitchen, there's no party unless there's a mess in there. Yeah, so, you know, it looks pretty cool. You know, it looks pretty cool when you cut it, right? So, you know, it's pretty nice and thin. You know, here, some of them, if it happens to break, that's okay. Still use it, you know, still use it. Don't think that, you know, it doesn't work out for you, but still use it. So we're gonna actually, you know, make sure that we put this in the pan and so it can actually get nice and tender, right? Nice and tender as well too. All right, let's move on over. Well, let's put that over to the side. I'm gonna use my other knife, right? Because we're gonna cut up some shallots. With the shallots, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, I like them, right? I like them, and you can, you know, get that going. That little shallot wanna actually fight with me. You wanna fight, don't you? Right? So I'm gonna peel this off here. Look at that. Yeah, that shallot wanted to fight with me. Now let's get to actually dicing up our garlic. So, of course, the famous crunch. Ooh, love that crunch. It's an easier way to actually get the outer part out. We're gonna have 4 cloves, right? So we're gonna do it on all 4. Looks dicey to me. All right, so now let's get into the cooking. Let's go. So what we're gonna do is you need a nice deep skillet because later we're gonna add in 4 cups of water, right? So you wanna make sure your skillet is nice and deep. We're gonna start off and turn on to medium high. I'm going to use, there's 2 ways of actually doing this, so keep this in mind. You can actually use from the sun-dried tomatoes, if you have a jar, you can use the oil. Make sure you put all of the oil in the actual skillet. If not, I'm using something special. This is actually truffle olive oil. So I'm gonna actually use that to basically coat the pan. So I'm gonna coat this first. I'm gonna let that heat up for a second. And then we're gonna start adding in our ingredients from the shallots to the peppers. We're gonna add in all of our seasoning as well as the garlic. We're gonna let that actually go for at least maybe 5 minutes until the actual garlic is fragrant and then ready to start with the next one. So now let's start to put in our peppers first. Then we're gonna add in our shallots. Got our shallots there. Gonna add in our seasoning, our basil, oregano, our dill, and of course, the garlic. Yeah. Stir this around. And let that go for at least 5 minutes. And if you need to add a little bit more oil to it, please do, because you want to make sure that your green peppers and, of course, you don't want to burn the garlic. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 cups of water to the pan. Then we're gonna add the pasta, 1 pound of pasta. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. We're gonna be stirring pretty often. If we need to add some more water, please add more water, but hopefully you won't have to do so. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in the sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna stir that all in. Stirring our vinegar. Smells delicious. I'm gonna add in our spinach now. Yeah. Our spinach. This is gonna be nice. Let's see how it's wilting now. Oh yeah. Smells so good. And our artichokes. Move that around, break that up. Right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my heat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break off some of that burrata cheese. Then I'm gonna top it with some basil leaves. And that's gonna, watch, it's gonna actually melt. I'm gonna let that sit to melt. I'm gonna let this melt for like 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're gonna top it off with some basil leaves. And we're done. I added a bonus to this because, you know, when you put the cheese on, make sure that you at least let it set for 2 to 3 minutes, but then you can actually start going inside the pasta, just going all around, make sure the cheese is actually melted and it's nice and cheesy. So I added a little bit of basil, that basil at the end. Basil leaves gives it a nice touch. But you know what also gives it a nice touch? Chicken. Right, so chicken parmesan is what I'm gonna add on top of here. So everybody, whew, I'm just gonna add this on top. You can try to add it in on top that way, but I'm gonna add it and layer that baby so you guys can see it this way. Oh my God, it's so good. Of course, I made a few pieces of chicken parmesan. It's so good. So good. So good. Now remember, of course, if you're a vegetarian, of course, you wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't be putting this on top. I got a big chunk right here. Boom. I'm gonna put that on top so you can actually see the color of it. It's so nice. Use the extra pieces as you wish for all my good vegetarians that's out there. You know, of course, without chicken, and your vegans without chicken, but the pasta itself is delicious by itself. A really great dish for dinner, and we go from there. Woo! Man, I hope you guys had a great time as far with me today. I had a blast. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to catch me on Instagram as well, too. You know, we're on YouTube, Cooking with Rico Show. Instagram, Cooking with Rico Show. Follow us, and subscribe to the channel. Everybody, I'll see you guys next time. I'm about to get into this dish, about to fix me a plate. See you later. Okay, we're ready. All right, sorry. Why did I say that? Sorry, why did I say that? Sorry. You need a nice skillet, nice deep skillet, because we'll be adding later 4 pots. Sorry. Okay, sorry. It's that 4 pots of water. See you later. All right.